Coming up on the Fourfold Path, a supplementary episode called Those Secret Formulas. Welcome to the Fourfold Path and Dr. Michael Leakey's spiritual tools and technologies that will increase the quality of your life. So much, everybody, for joining me this day. I'm Reverend Dr. Michael Leakey. Thought I'd share with you, I got inspired to share with you a supplemental episode of the Fourfold Path in regards to those secret formulas or ingredients, if you will. I have lots to say about it, lots to share, many years of experience, hopefully will impact in some way on you, inspire you, hopefully. We'll be back. Now in its 10th season, listen and watch Fridays to Dr. Michael's podcast and webcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, YouTube, and Facebook. We're back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I want to talk very briefly, if you will, about those secret formulas and ingredients, where they're coming from. And I'm referring, of course, to the DVDs and the books and all that are popular in conjunction with the law of attraction, which we'll tackle separately or as well. So, the whole thing about those secret formulas and ingredients, whatever you want to refer to them as, is formulas that work. They do work. And they are New Thought based. They are based in everything that I've been speaking about, my entire education, all of it. It's all valid. It's all real. But they do have it, but backwards. And by that I mean, you don't tell God, you don't tell the universe what you want, which basically they outright say in this DVD and book. They go, I'm going to tell you what I want. I'm going to do these exercises, it's going to come back to me. No, it doesn't work that way. If it does, it's temporary. Guarantee you. Years ago, I manifested 3-4 cars just for the exercise, just to see, without a basis, a number of bases, finances and other things, had to all go away. Years ago, I tried to manifest a relationship. I did. It went away over time. It's temporary. We're going to talk about temporary versus permanent. But with those secret DVDs, those secret formulas, those secret books, they are temporary because you're doing it backwards. Instead of evolving yourself, instead of doing the spiritual practices and being on the Fourfold Path, etc., and then seeing what comes up, it's like, okay, you rush to the finish line first, grab what you can, or allow what you can, and then you kind of run back and tidy things up and see what's going on. It's all unconscious, not actually what happens, but I'm just comparing that. Permanent versus temporary. Temporary, personal ego will. Permanent, source, higher mind. So, it is based in New Thought. There is validity to the techniques, but it's all watered down and it's backwards. So if anyone out there has managed to actually manifest or materialize anything, if they have, I'm willing to bet you anything you don't have it anymore if you manifested or materialized anything at all. Because you're putting the human ingredient into it, or personal ego will. With the human ingredient, it always fails or is always temporary. Even though we're perfect, we are a part of Source, and Source is a part of us. So there's that beauty, that high resonation, that glow, if you will, that love. But really, when you're doing this, why do it? I know everybody wants love. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants a nice house. Everybody wants a nice car. In many cases, you need a car, just something to go to work in, or something to do your job, or something, maybe you want to help other people. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wanting stuff. But when we're wanting stuff without the element of, I'm wanting this, it would be nice to have it, but it's really so I can help others. A car so I can drive around the infirmed, if you will, or I can help seniors run errands, or a house, not just for yourself, but maybe you want to share it as a ministry, or a house maybe because you want to run something that's beneficial to other people in it. I believe you get the idea. So in that way, you stand a little bit of a chance of manifesting and materializing something with that attitude or higher consciousness, if you will. But still, it's a long road a long road to hoe, if that's the proper expression. And so in Idaho, it's a long road to hoe. In any case, I think you see the differences. New Thought validity with those secret DVDs and book. Yes, the techniques are real, but they're backwards. You don't take from the universe. You don't tell the universe what you want, even though they present it as very shiny. The universe has unlimited, and it is unlimited stuff. Why not take it? Why not tell the universe that you want this and you'll get it? You phone, write, or email me. You contact me if you succeeded, and then we'll talk using those techniques, and long-lasting if you still have those things. However, versus the fourfold path, versus your spiritual practices, versus I'm meditating today, every day, 10, 20 minutes, a couple of times a day. I'm one with my maker. I feel the peace, love, joy, harmony, higher intelligence, wisdom, and creativity. And thereby healing the various levels of one's mind. So you can be all you can be. So that source at the very center of your mind can come up and inspire you, can come up and act as intuition for you, can come up and lead you in an intuitive way to your soul's purpose. That's where you want to be. That's your starting point. Meditation, as we've spoken of previously, mystical meditation or higher consciousness meditation, affirmative prayer or scientific prayer. You're familiar with that from my series. Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting while in meditative state and affirming and declaring. It's a wonderful process in itself. And envisioning or imaging or visualization during meditative state, combining all three elements, you're going to evolve. You can't help but do that. And in this evolvement process, you may already begin to manifest. You'll log in even easier to the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is just one of many, 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 many spiritual laws. I've written several, actually more than several books. The most recent a few years ago, The Complete Spiritual Laws of the Universe. The magnetic law of attraction, as I channeled the terminology, is also known as the law of attraction. It's like physics. It's like gravity. It's always operating. You put something out, it comes back. Einstein said this many years ago, I think in the 20s and 30s. He said, whatever energetically you put out, and also physically, with gravity, physics, whatever comes out, goes out, comes back. Not to be confused with karma. What goes around comes around. That's a misnomer. Karma is also mindless. The law of karma, the spiritual law of karma, is really akin to the spiritual law of release and receive. Whatever it is you put out energetically comes back. That's karma. It's cause and effect, the spiritual law of cause and effect. More specifically. So not to confuse the law of attraction with karma or the law of cause and effect or the law of release and receive. They're all very, very subtly different. So with the law of attraction, it became very popular about 25 or so years ago through a series of books. Nothing wrong with that. It's inspired many people to do their best to be good, to try to log on to this. But what isn't emphasized, I'm not going to say not mentioned, but what is not emphasized is meditation first, ongoing. You become one with Source through meditation and affirmative prayer and envisioning, and then you start to log into automatically in your oneness with your higher self or higher mind with all the spiritual laws anyway, including the law of attraction. But in of itself, just to manifest or materialize things using the law of attraction or those secret formulas, not going to be long lasting. Tell you why. Anything that comes from personal ego will or ego identity is not cleaned up. It's coming from an unhealthy mind of traumas and all this sort of thing. In spiritual mind science, Eastern psychology, we acknowledge various levels of the mind, and we use meditation and these previously mentioned tools to heal and clean up these things so that God at the very center, or higher mind, or the universal mind at the very center, or perfect mind at the very center of your mind, can come up cleanly, easily through the various levels of your mind and inspire you, act as intuition, lead you to your soul's purpose and the fourfold path. We'll be back. Expand your consciousness and awareness with Dr. Michael's more than 40 paperback books of a self-help, mystical, new thought, and metaphysical nature, available from Amazon. And so we just touched on the differences a little bit. I'm going to expand on that. Permanent and temporary. Temporary, personal ego will. Clean up your unconscious mind. You'll be coming less from personal ego will. It's also one of the fourfold path techniques to be aware of. Actually, the first one, letting go of your personal ego will or ego identity. And when you do, wow, you'll start to come from a place that's more permanent, more God-based, more soul-based, and that is not about yourself, which we spoke of earlier. So perhaps you're inspired to get a car or manifest a car, and it will come naturally if it's not for you, or maybe partially for you. Maybe you have in your head, oh, I want the shiny red car, and you go through all the exercises in those secret DVDs and those secret formulas and those secret CDs and the secret books, but it doesn't come. Or you've managed to raise your vibration high enough to open a channel for source to work its way through, that you did manifest stuff somehow. I did that when I manifested 3-4 cars years ago and caused myself heartache and trouble, had to let them go. Years ago, manifested a relationship, had to let that go. It's never permanent, never permanent when it's coming from personal ego will, not your higher mind. So permanent comes from your higher mind, inspired from your higher mind, which by the way is the fourth of the fourfold path, to be able to channel God, to be able to be inspired or intuit, if you will, from source or your higher mind, where to go, what to pray for. And I guarantee you this, when you're the fourth of the fourfold path, you're going to know what to pray for automatically, because your higher mind knows what you have need of before you even do. Maybe you don't even need a car. Maybe you don't even need that relationship. Maybe you don't even need all that money that maybe you're doing fine. Maybe you don't need that house. Maybe you're doing fine. So at that point, once you've evolved through using the spiritual practices and going through the fourfold path stages, in the end, you'll be in a permanent place. You'll be resonating with your highest self and be inspired. You'll be inspired. All those things about materializing and manifesting, which were ego-based or personal ego-based or personal ego identity, they won't be important anymore. You'll forget about it. You'll be in a completely different place of peace, love, and joy. I hope this has shed a bit of light on the differences in this very brief episode, the supplemental episode on those secret DVDs and books and CDs. I hope it has shed some light on where it's really coming from. Yes, it's all new thought, which is okay. But one is temporary, personal ego identity, ego will. The other one, come from God, do the spiritual practices. And whatever is meant to be for you in this lifetime, if it is in yours and others' greater good, will come anyway with very, very little effort. I'm so glad you came this day. Until next time, peace and richest blessings. Welcome to the Fourfold Path and Dr. Michael Ikey's spiritual tools and technologies that will increase the quality of your life.